Could you please provide us with an update concerning the latest development in the field of the EU cosmetics regulation?
Yes, there are a lot of new developments coming up in the near future. First of all, I would say that the Commission is now evaluating and reviewing the cosmetics regulation on the endokrine disrupting substances. You know that there has been a publication of criteria in other areas, and now the Cosmetic department has to look at the review and see whether there is a need for further actions. We all know that the SCCS has already evaluated some of the ingredients in the past. So we think that the idea of risk assessment, which is currently established in the European Union, is already well working also for endokrine disrupting ingredients.
What other topics are there that the EU is working on at the moment?
Currently, we expect two further publications. One is the catalogue of nanomaterials, which is a little bit delayed. We know that the Commission will publish this report quite soon, so that we can see which nanomaterials are used in the cosmetics area. We know that the list will be longer as expected, but we also know that there are ingredients on the list which might not necessarily be really nanomaterials. This will be has to be checked at a later stage. And the second is on claims. The Commission will shortly, by 11th of July, publish a report on claims. They have made an inquiry with member states to find out which claims are used currently and whether the companies are following the claim regulation which has been published 2 years ago.
Are there any surprises expected from this list?
We don't know whether there will be surprises. We know we have trained our companies in depth so that they are informed about the criteria and they know about the criteria. We know that the Commission is currently discussing to publish guidelines on free-from claims and on hypoallergenic to give more guidance on these questions. But on the report, we hope that our companies have fulfilled the guidelines and have followed the guidelines in the last years, so that the products on the market are mainly fulfilling the criteria.
Are there any other topics that the EU Commission is working on?
As far as we understand, there will be a positive list for hair dyes. You know, the SCCS has studied the dossiers of more than 100 hair dyes, and the Commission has developed a strategy, and as soon as this strategy is finalized, which means that most of the hair dyes are looked at, then the positive list hair dyes will be published.
Are there any other topics that the EU Commission is on at the moment?
Yes, we are currently discussing the questions of preservatives in cosmetics. The Commission has started a campaign informing consumers about the need for preservatives and how important they are to keep the consumers themselves healthy. And this is something where we are working on together with the Commission to inform the consumer about the need for these product categories.